Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel that is Science Unlocked. And as you can see that today we will going to talk about wind, storms and cyclone. And now this particular content is coming from the class 7th Science NCERT textbook. So let's get started about this thing. The very first thing that we are going to talk about is wind, that what exactly do we understand by wind. Now, wind is actually nothing but the moving air. Whenever the air around us moves, we can say that it is the wind. On the whole, we will going to find out that air that we have around us is nothing but mixture of gases, and this particular mixture of gases is nothing but moving around us when we are referring it with reference to wind. Now what happens is, on the whole, we will be able to understand when we will going to learn about wind that these are generally caused because of the heating phenomena, that the different amount of regions on the earth will going to get heated up at different rate. So different regions will going to have different overall temperatures. As a result of that, overall heat will be created, overall wind will be created. Now over here we will going to have one more factor acting into it, which is called as the movement of earth. What happens is, this movement is the main phenomena because of which the earth is receiving the different amount of sunlight or solar insolation, which ultimately leads to the formation of wind. Now when we talk about wind, it is actually classified on the basis of certain factors like duration, that whether it is small or long, means it is of short duration, it is of long duration, what is the strength of the wind which is being produced or which is moving around us, and what exactly is its speed, whether it is slow and fast. So on the whole, we can say that we do have certain categorizations when it comes to detailed analysis and studies related with wind. Now what happens is that we will going to find out there will going to be the condition where there will be high strength wind which will be taking place or which will be created for a very long duration. So in that kind of a condition, the overall phenomena of wind can lead to formation of some sort of hazardous structures which are called as natural disasters, that is called cyclones and hurricanes. So it is very important to have an idea about wind and how exactly it is moving, where it is receiving what amount of heat and everything. So when we talk about wind, obviously it does have various sorts of things related with it. There are certain good phenomena in terms of when we want to get relief from the warm or heat from the nature. On the other hand, it is with reference to the application as well, that is how exactly we are using the windmills, how we are using the concept of generation of electricity and many more things. So that is the basic idea about wind. Next aspect that we have in today's module is about the concept of atmospheric pressure. Now atmospheric pressure is actually the pressure which is exerted by the air around us, on us to be more specific, and ultimately we will be able to find out here that the air that we have around us is nothing but will going to exert pressure in all the directions. So what happens is, we will going to see that it is not only the different set of objects which are realizing this particular atmospheric pressure, but also the human body which is doing this thing. So on the whole, we will be able to see that the air around us is not only responsible for the phenomena of wind formation but also for the phenomena of atmospheric pressure. Now over here we will be able to see that this particular phenomena of air pressure will going to lead to various sort of other examples in our life. For example, movement of hair, leaves that are moving on the trees. So this is all because of the atmospheric pressure, because the air exert pressure everywhere in different direction, which leads to different movements that we observe in our day-to-day life as well. Now when we talk about the atmospheric pressure on earth, or you can say the different part of the earth, the overall phenomena is observed in a different manner. But when we talk about our human body, why exactly don't we feel that pressure anytime? Like right now, wherever I am making this video, I cannot feel any kind of pressure on my head. Then how come that this particular pressure is still acting but not making me feel about this thing? The reason behind that is that my body is exerting an equal pressure in the opposite direction. Now normally, because air is always over us, so we say this thing that the pressure is exerted from our head towards our toe region or the foot region. That means that is the direction in which the atmospheric pressure is acting on us. So on the other hand, what will happen, the body will going to exert the similar kind of pressure from the inside, because we do have liquids, we do have gases inside our body. So that will going to ultimately exert the equal amount of pressure but in the opposite direction, which will going to ultimately help in maintaining the overall balance between the nature and the body. Now what happens is, we can take the further examples of atmospheric pressure where we want to talk about the downstream movement of any material. It can be a boat, it can be some other thing as well. You can be riding a bicycle, you can be walking, you can be running. In all the cases, we do have downstream and upstream. Now what is the concept of downstream movement? The condition where the direction of wind or water and the direction in which you are moving, whether you are walking, riding the bicycle or anything else, you can be in the boat, if that is in the same direction, that is considered as the downstream movement. On the other hand, we have the upstream movement where it will be opposite to the direction of the stream or the air that we are referring to, or the case that we are studying. So we will going to find out that when we talk about the downstream condition, where you are also moving in the direction of the water or air, wherever you are, in that condition you have to apply less force, because the stream, or you can say the river or the air itself, is applying pressure on it. But when you are moving in the opposite direction, over here you will going to find out that you have to apply some extra pressure, some extra force. So that is one example where you can actually relate that yes, these factors that we have talked about in terms of air, in terms of water, they also exert pressure, and in case of air as well. Now the next is one such example that we can talk about is the distortion of tin can or bottle, where what we have to do is we have to simply add a few amount of water into a closed container with a lid, and then we will have to heat it up. Once we will going to heat it up, it will going to lead to the formation of steam inside the component or the container that we have taken. Now if we will going to pour cold water around it, we will going to see that the can will going to distort its shape. It will going to get into another form, or such kind of form which will going to be distorted shape. So that is something because of the difference in the atmospheric pressure. Inside the can, the atmospheric pressure was different. Outside the can, because of the cold water, it is different. So when they came in contact with each other, they tend to equalize themselves, because of which ultimately the can got distorted. So here we have talked about a few phenomena related with the chapter, that is wind, storm and cyclone. Rest we will going to continue in our upcoming session. So stay tuned, keep learning and take care.